Hello, everybody. I'm Mel Doerr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, with my thing behind me I got in Africa. And I've got the one, the only Linda G in the house. Hey, Miss G.
Hi, you guys.
And I just want to start out by saying today is International Holocaust
80
Remember
years since Auschwitz, since Russia
80 years
walked
since
into
Russia,
Auschwitz.
right, since they liberated Auschwitz-Birkenau. Um, And I saw that Marco Rubio had posted something, because he's Secretary of State. And what it says is, let's see, it was a 27th anniversary. I'm sorry, January 27th, 1945 was the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau, the last, the most famous and notorious Nazi death camp. And he said they killed 6 million Jews, as well as millions of others. Okay, Marco, that's true. But you didn't mention the others, like the Roma, which were called Gypsy, the Jehovah's Witnesses. How about the gays? They murdered us too. We were sent to concentration camps. How about the people with disabilities that your boss, Mr.
And the
Rubio, makes
babies, the
fun
babies
of?
they killed. Yeah.
How about talking about the massive deportations of people to those camps, Mr. Rubio, which your boss is openly doing? Uh, you know, so how can you even talk about the Holocaust Memorial when the regime you work for is propagating the same sorts of BS that the Nazis did? I have a problem
Well,
with it.
and let me tell you something else that breaks my heart. It was very hard for me to find out that Roosevelt, because we had a bunch of Nazis running the government, by the way, Roosevelt was really up against a rock and a hard place with the SCOTUS and all of them. They were all white nationalists.
Oh, yeah,
They didn't want any of the Jews to come in.
right. That's right.
They turned them away at the port,
Well, we had our
right back to their death. And so Hitler made fun of it. Well, even America doesn't want them.
Right, exactly. Well, what they're doing now is they're saying, oh, I talked to somebody the other day and I said, it's terrible with deportations. He was from Russia. Oh, they're only deporting criminals. I said, wrong. If somebody is a convicted felon, it's a crime of violence, yeah, deport them. But what about the person that you voted for who has 34 felony convictions, whose family was here illegally until you gave them status? Excuse me?
Yeah.
Problem with it. It's like, and now they're saying, well, they're deporting criminals. How do you define criminals? How do you talk about rape?
Well, if they say if you're here illegally,
Then
you're a
you're a
criminal.
criminal. Right. That's my point.
Yeah.
But the thing is, how do you raid people's houses and take away innocent people without due process? I mean, so let's see. Hitler vilified the Jews, so Trump, in the first time around, vilified the Muslims. Now he's vilifying the Mexicans. So why are they criminals? They've been
And the
living,
Mexicans came out and voted for him too.
some of them did, not all. But
Well,
they've
a
been
good
living
chunk
here,
of them.
many of them that I know have been living here for years, paying taxes. They have houses. They haven't done anything illegal except not have immigration status. And I saw they're up north. They raided a place just today, and they arrested a man who had been here for 30 years. No criminal
Because he
history,
didn't
no
have
nothing.
immigration status.
Correct. But they're
Yeah.
just rounding up people. They're not, is there's no,
Well, someone wrote me that they arrested Navajos. For some reason, I don't think that's true.
no, I don't know. I don't think that.
They can't take indigenous. They're trying to act like they're not legal, but they can act like that till the cows come home.
And
They're
then to
not going to
top,
be able to
yeah,
do it.
and then to top it all off, Elon Musk tells Germany's right wing party, grab this one, for to move past the Nazi guilt. He tells that to Germany's
Yeah,
culture.
our children and our grandchildren. Yeah,
Right. I mean, on the Holocaust Memorial Day.
right.
It's like, and then I asked Abraham Lincoln, Abraham, when I was at your tomb, here's what you told me. And it came through loud and clear, this madness shall and will end.
Right.
Just not tomorrow at 2:30.
So I have a couple of short announcements.
Okay, yep, go. I'm sorry, just wanted to get that off my chest.
Okay, I just want to tell everybody on my video yesterday, and thank you guys for watching. I got like 95,000 views. I said Violetta had a GoFundMe page. I had donated to Violetta and I couldn't remember where the heck. I think she was on Facebook and I hit a link there for her son who's deceased. And she wrote me this morning and said, everybody is asking or telling me that you said I had a GoFundMe page and I don't. Sure enough, she doesn't. And I'm sorry, I was wrong on that. She doesn't have a GoFundMe page. No harm, no foul. And the other thing I want to tell you is I got this long letter from this woman this morning. Just a sweet letter. But she wants her $100 back for the reading for December 26th. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, do I owe somebody money? I would have figured that out. And she's got this problem at home and she's struggling and she doesn't want a reading. She wants the money back. So I looked at my calendar at December 26th and I had 2 readings that morning, but they weren't her. And I don't charge $100. There's nothing I charge $100 for. And I told her, I got to tell you, something's, wrong. I don't charge $100. And I don't see you on my PayPal or correspondence or anything. She said, I've written you and written you. That was the only email I got. So I said, double check it because something's wrong. I don't charge $100 and I don't have you in my schedule. And then she wrote back and said, she sent me a picture of the PayPal payment. And it wasn't to me, it was to somebody else. She got scammed. They tried, you guys, and apparently this scammer went on YouTube. I'm getting a lot of you guys letting me know, and thank you so much. Report them as soon as you see them. But apparently this person approached her on a comment she made on my YouTube, and she believed it was me and gave her that money. And of course, she reported it to PayPal. PayPal won't help her.
They do that. I mean, that happened to us a long time ago on our community board, call this number and so I reported it and I flagged it. So that I'll have the person that reads my comments check mine too, because yeah,
Well, they sneak in there.
correct.
They sneak in there. They'll come they're not flat out, hey, this is me. Please call me because you pay this amount and I'll read you.
Right.
This person she showed me actually did a short correspondence with her. She even asked her, do I have my questions pre-done and all this? It was a total fraud. That's the first one I've had that actually paid. I know that my friend Lena Rodriguez, Dr. Rodriguez, she gave him $150 because somebody claimed to be me and there was something with my son and I needed help. She thought she was helping and it was a fraud.
They do that a lot. So, everybody in the community, be aware of it. And if anybody in the community sees in any of our comment sections, if you read our comments, anybody that's soliciting money for a reading, just remember, in our comment section, we will never solicit anyone for a reading, ever.
Right.
Never.
Well, I'm not doing any personal readings anymore.
That's my point.
So mine's cool because if it's somebody saying, would you like a reading from me? No.
So that's exactly right. We do not. So if you see in the comments on my page or Linda's, do you want a reading? Call this number.
You don't either. They call your office. That's how you schedule.
That's correct. So they call my office. So, please let us know. Put it in big letters in our community board. Here's what's going on.
Right.
Because sometimes we don't see all the comments.
Right.
What happened was, and this was for real though, I had a lady who she was emailing, but she used 2 or 3 different names and 2 or 3 email addresses. And then she said she wanted to cancel her reading. The reason at my office that we have people that we call them on the phone to confirm, we don't take appointments via email, and we don't cancel appointments via email or confirm them. They have to call the office. And that's exactly why we do it that way. Because somebody else could be used, and it's happened to us before. Somebody uses a fake name, oh, I paid you, and they didn't. So they have to call us. We have to get that voice on the phone.
Isn't that something? I've had people write me and say, okay, I'm ready for my appointment tomorrow at such and such time. This is the number you're gonna call. And then I look at my appointments and that person's name's not on there.
Right.
And I have to write them and say, I'm sorry, I don't have you down for an appointment. Give me the copy of your receipt to PayPal when you pay. And then I don't hear from them again.
Correct. That's why they have to call the office. So
Well, I miss you, my friend. I haven't talked to you. I said, where the hell is he? I guess you were making bread this morning already.
I got up early because it takes all day to make it. And I was like, I had everything like turned off and I was just making sourdough. So anyway. All righty. We got some questions to get to, huh?
The dogs are barking.
Well, first of all, I've got openings on my Peru and my September and Iceland in October. And Linda, Deb is coming with us, Linda's sister. And
And she's bringing my cousin Susan.
oh, I got to call and get the reservation form then.
Yeah.
Oh, who's coming? Sue Montgomery's coming?
No, cousin Sue, another cousin. I don't know. You haven't met her.
Oh,
Remember
good.
my Uncle Tip that just died not too long ago? That's his daughter.
Oh, I got you. Oh, good. I'll call her and get the res form.
Yeah. So
Uh,
her and Susan are
Oh,
very
excuse
excited.
me. Can I put this on pause for just a
Yeah,
second?
sure. Hold on, let me.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. That beep you heard. I'm making sourdough. I've been making it all morning. So you have to pull it every 4 hours. So, I mean, I'm sorry, every half hour. So I pulled it and there we go.
Just too much work for me.
A lot of work. So
But my kids don't eat bread, really. We're not bread eaters.
I have a couple slices a day and that's about it. But but Linda, you've been using Andro+Niki products, I understand.
Oh my God. My sister got hers the other day. She was calling me with directions. He doesn't really give directions in there.
You just put the moisturizer and little drops on
Yeah.
the
I figured out how to open it. You turn that bottom piece.
right.
Click. Anyway, I didn't look for directions. I'm not a directions person. I just put that stuff on my face and within a day, it's like butter.
It's incredible. And Andrew called me and he said he watched our shows and he's so grateful and thankful.
You be sure to put the link on this show of how to reach him.
I will, but I'm going to tell him right now. You go to Andro, Andro plus the plus sign. Don't spell it out, just the plus sign. Andro+Niki, NIKI.com. Andro+Niki.com.
And apparently he got, so booked. His site, his website got overbooked. Psychically, I saw him and I told him this. I see you eventually doing hair products too.
Oh, wow. That's
I
great.
saw that. So I don't know, and he's doing the face cleanser. He's working on that. But I don't know why. I told him I see you doing hair products too. I'll be buying all my stuff from him.
He's incredible. And I've known Andrew for years and he's a great guy. And I'm just so happy that this is going well for him. And I actually see it on television, like Home Shopping or something like that. But he wants to get the sales up first. It's going to do incredibly well.
Oh, listen, I got to tell you, you told me you had this person that did, and I've gotten a lot of people sending me samples and stuff, and there's some good face products in there. But I will tell you, this wiped everything else out of the ballpark. It was unbelievable.
I put it on and he sent some to Alinea in my office and she put it on. She's going, this stuff is effing great. Everybody loves it. It's really good.
Because that next day, I even had some like indentations here because my skin was so dry. Oh my God. Gone.
My hands were cracked and bleeding because it's so dry. And I
Yeah.
started using that and you wouldn't believe the improvement. It's incredible.
I had a burn on my hand that's healing faster because I use the product. And it's very good for your elbows. I lean on my elbow a lot when I'm reading in bed.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching.
And I started putting it on my elbows, took away the cracking right away.
So, there's many uses for this product, but I want to tell you, I use the moisturizer on my hand and I put them on them for damaged skin. And it's incredible. I use it on my face. It's
Yes.
you'll feel immediate results. So
I mean, but listen, he don't pay us to advertise. We don't care. We love it. That's me. That's why I don't like paid advertising
no,
because then I have to say something.
I
If
don't I
I'm
don't
telling you it's true, it's true.
I don't do paid advertisement. I just, people that have a good product, like him or
Like that toilet bowl cleaner I found.
right.
Best toilet bowl cleaner in the world. People were laughing because I was showing. I said, "You guys, this is the best toilet bowl," but I was not paid by anybody.
Well, next week I'll hold the product up so people can see it, but it's great stuff.
I've gotten letters from people like at certain candy place that our friend Mark used to work.
Yes, yes.
Um, they wrote me and thanked me because I guess I advert them on one of the shows and I guess they blew up too.
That chocolate was really good. Andrew told me after I think one of our shows, he got over 180 orders. So
Oh yeah, it went like crazy. People were writing me, and they also couldn't get through or didn't accept their payment. They said they got right back to them, talked to them, the nicest people in the world.
Andrew told me that a lot of times there was a glitch with it and it wouldn't accept payment, and he compensated them and he called them back right away. So
Isn't that
yeah,
wonderful?
he's a great guy. He really is nice. He's got a great accent. It's like an Australian accent, but I think he's from Cyprus originally, but grew up in Australia. And his story is really interesting. Let's have him on one time. We'll just talk about.
Yeah, let's have them on Zoom.
But,
Definitely.
okay, we'll do it. All right, shall we get to
Oh,
our questions?
yes, may I ask the first question?
Go ahead.
Okay. This is from our friend Mark Rose. Mark Rhodes. Remember, he sponsored us for San Francisco. So he said, Linda, recently came out, the LGBTQ communities are up in arms because a drag queen named Heklina died in her hotel room in London a couple of years ago. She was performing Mommy Dearest and her best friend, Peaches Christ. They are always doing funny parades based on cult classic movies. It was shocking she died because she had been clean and sober for many more years than I've been clean and sober. I've been clean and sober 35 years. However, the London police have stated that they have a video image of three men leaving her hotel. Everyone is upset because they just found this information out now. They've had it for 2 years. Obtaining images from videos in surrounding areas is so easy. I thought it would be great if you and Mel could take a look and see why these men were involved, or are they involved, and will there be any arrest?
I hear yes, they were involved,
Okay.
and I see a couple of arrests. Um, but I don't know involved, like, did they give her drugs? But she was clean and sober, so they said, but something's not kosher. And I
I
hear
feel it was more like robbery or something.
well, I see an involvement there is what I'm trying to say. Yes.
And one of the persons she knew. So it could have been someone that worked for her that was stealing from her. Maybe she was letting it be known.
A known face, right? But I see arrest, absolutely.
I see two people being arrested.
The sad part is that, you know, had it been, some white right-wing politician,
This
that
is London.
it would have
This is
been taken
London.
care of. I know, but still, um, I feel like there was foul play. I see
Okay.
foul play. That's a
All
good.
right. Ask your question.
Okay. Natalie Winnell says, "Who did Linda see cuffed and apologizing?"
Who I saw?
Yeah, she's evidently you saw somebody cuffed and apologizing. I don't know.
Well, you know that they're cuffing, Putin is literally cuffing his soldiers so they can't escape. Um, I see Elon Musk apologizing.
Well, he needs to apologize because they made the Nazi salute, but now he's just telling the ultra right wing
In
uh,
Germany.
in Germany to for that they need to move forward and forget the Nazi guilt excuse me, they're ultra right wing that purports Nazism. I mean, um, you know,
Is it like Germany is trying to amend for the sins of the forefathers? Or is it because he wants everybody to go back to hating Jews?
because he wants to go, because he is a bigot. He is an ultra right wing, in my opinion, entertainment purposes only. And he's trying to give them a wink and a nod, just like he did here, so he can buy the German election, but it's going to blow up in his face. And
Right.
as we're talking, I do at some point see him handcuffed and apologizing, but his
Hmm.
apology will be like Trump's. It's written on toilet paper. It won't
Yeah.
mean anything.
Oh, and you know that Donald Trump's chief of staff is this woman that reminds me kind of his mother, the gray hair, short, stout, and he loves her. Apparently, she's worked with him. She worked with him on the campaign and stuff. And she shipped Elon Musk office across the street in the Roosevelt building. He can't be next to Donald. And he can't go through Donald. He has to go through her if he has any message for Donald.
Well, I'm telling you, there's a lot of static between him and Donald. At
Yep.
some point, I think he's got some stuff on Donald, but at some point, there's going to be a huge blow up there. And at some point, Donald is going to oust him. You mark my
Yeah.
words.
Oh, he outs everybody. The only thing that keeps him there that close is because he's got money.
And it's going to come out that there was some criminal activity going on. And I wonder if Musk will get deported. I'm just being cocky
Well,
because
right now, all the stuff about stealing the elections coming out in black and white. It's
huge,
beautiful. It's
huge.
beautiful.
All right, your turn, dear. You got a question?
Oh no, I don't have the
Oh,
questions.
I do.
I
Okay.
only had the one.
Water Lily says, so Felon 47 spoke to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia recently. In the conversation, Felon 47 agreed to the sale of 600 billion in US assets to Saudi Arabia. Is MAGA paying attention? Will this get any blowback? Oh, and a side note, Felon 47 is again going to Saudi Arabia for his first international visit. Big surprise. Not.
I don't think he can make any trip of that because he's not allowed in a lot of countries.
He's not allowed what?
In a lot of countries.
Right. Well, he is going to Saudi Arabia, but 600 billion in US assets, but yet they complain about giving money to Ukraine. Um, he's pledged the money to them. I think that he is buying them because they have something out of them. That's what I pick up.
That's what I pick up too.
Entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Okay. Acadian Proud. Hi, Acadian Proud, our Canadian friends. How is Merrick Garland feeling right now? Does he regret any of the things he did or did not do?
He's very depressed.
Very. Um,
Logically, he thinks he did the right thing.
well, he's very slow and methodical. And I just think,
I know Biden was mad at him for him to lose Biden's trust. Biden couldn't believe he sent the Rottweilers out on his son.
and I think I think his regret would be that he didn't move quick enough on the Trump prosecutions because had they moved quick enough, we wouldn't be having this conversation about Donald Trump. But Donald Trump didn't win the election anyway, and that's all going to come out.
Yeah.
All right. Acadian Proud again. I word to Canada. Please, everybody there, speak up and be diligent and vigilant because the same thing can happen in Canada that happened here if you don't take action. Okay. Why are the Democrats keeping so quiet about the potential election interference? Because
Why the what?
why are the Dems keeping so quiet about potential election interference? Because they don't have proof. They have
They
proof.
didn't have proof. Now they do.
Now they
It's
do.
coming in now. By the end of this month, there'll be so much proof.
I see a lot. Something big's going to happen. I feel. I don't know
But do
what.
you see them overturning it because of the proof?
Well, it'd have to go to
As
the,
you know, he's not going to leave. He's going to sit and say it's a bunch of bullshit. And then they'd have to do legal recourse, which would, he'll stop all of that.
it would have to go to the Supreme Court, I think. Um, and see what they would have to say. I don't know. I don't know the process for that. But when you said that, my psychic flash cube went off.
Yeah.
And at some point, not, I mean, I would say in about maybe 5 to 7 years, his whole presidency is going to come before a Supreme Court, a different court. And they are going to have proof positive that there was election, and at some point his presidency will be nullified. But it's a while off yet. So that
Oh,
would
I've
mean,
seen that from the time he got in the first time.
so
I
that would
said,
mean that,
down the road, they will prove that he was basically an illegal
but
president.
I would think that would mean any justices, anything they passed through him or anything they did would also be null and void.
Well, they're already putting a thing in to have his face on the mountain there with George Washington and Abraham. It's not going to happen, you guys.
Nothing happen. It's not going to happen.
They also want to up and now say he can serve as the third term. He's not even going to last the first term or the second term here.
They would have to change the Constitution for that.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to do this.
Well, I think you have to have 2/3 Senate, 2/3 House, and 2/3 of the state, or is it 3/4? I forget. But there's all right. I mean, he knows, I think he knows he's breaking the Constitution with some of the stuff he's doing. He just wants to get it to the courts to see what the court
Right.
will say
Right.
while he's doing it. He knows the courts are so busy, it'll take forever for it to get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Mulberry Smile says, hugs to you both, lovely people. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your gifts. You both stay connected to sources of information about the mess that is our current state of affairs. How do you each recenter yourself and keep fears from creeping in? That's a question. I'm struggling and guessing I'm not alone in that. You're not. Many of us are fearful. May the best possible outcome always be the response the universe offers you. Thanks. So she wants to know how we recenter ourselves and keep our fears from creeping in.
Well, fears is the demon. Fears is the worst thing that you can go through. I lived in fear most of my life. Fear I was going to get beat. But once you can delete that fear, because it's an awful thing and it deters you from achieving what you want. Once you refuse it and say, be gone, you have no more power here, you'll be amazed how things will change for you.
Who was it that said we have nothing to fear but fear itself?
Fear, it was Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
That's my youngest,
Is that Jaden?
Jeffrey,
I'm sorry.
my baby. He'd be upset that I showed this. But he's so young, you couldn't tell who he was. He made that little gift for me.
Okay, I thought it was your grandson.
No.
I will just say that when I had cancer, and I've said this a million times, I was petrified with fear. Linda knew because she talked me off a million ledges. And my husband knew, but I was just petrified. And I kept saying to my guides, how do I get past this? And the answer came back, don't let the fear stand in front of you and hold you back. Let it get behind you and push you forward.
There you go.
And like you, Linda, I lived a lot of my life in fear. I mean, to go to high school and get beat up every day and be called sissy, queer, faggot, and all of those horrible things. And I used to say, God, why did you let this happen to me? And now I'm like, I wouldn't want to go through it again, but I'm like, it made me strong. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
Not that anybody has to get beat up or bullied. And, for a lot of my life, I too was fearful. And then one day I just said, I'm not going to be a victim to fear anymore.
Good for you.
I will not be a victim.
When I had cancer, what helped me was that man, when I was begging for my life, saying, what are you doing? You know, there's no such thing as death.
Okay.
And then I handed everything over to the realm. I just handed it over. I just said, fair enough. If I die, I die. If I don't, I have to know in faith that this too will be okay. And something happened to me. I do have fear occasionally. When Nicole got COVID, I was scared to death.
I remember that.
And I was praying for her and praying for her. And that man said as clear as day in my ear, What are you doing? Practice what you preach.
I was fearful, but I think when you called me, I said, Linda, she's gonna get through this. She's gonna
Well,
survive.
the doctor had said you better not get COVID.
I
She has
remember.
lung disease.
And of course, we were all praying for her, and
Yeah.
I just love that. I call her that child. She's not a child. I just love
She's
her.
so sweet. She loves you too.
She's really cool. Hi, Nicole. Are you
Hi,
turning red?
Nicole. Such a good mommy.
Um, okay. Lynn Tesmer says, "What did Barron say to Biden? Biden looked odd. Then Barron turned around and gave an evil look at Biden. I didn't see it.
I think he said something pretty underhanded.
I think so too.
I think he said we will destroy you or something.
He said something really nasty.
Because Biden was all smiling, anxious to shake his hand, and he was like, we will destroy you.
He said something. Okay, this is a really good one. How long will Pete Hegseth last as Trump's defense
Oh,
secretary?
oh, 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 oh.
Oh, you go
Okay,
first.
somebody had what do you call memes? Hegseth on his first day at work, and it shows some guy falling down a flight of stairs. How long will he last?
Not long.
Not long. I just heard not long.
You know, we both have predicted he would get confirmed, and I'm surprised
Yeah.
that he did, but we had both said that he wouldn't last long, and here we are.
Well, he's already let the military know you've got to be masculine, which is interesting. You got to we've got to become like I don't know, but I see a lot of families upset what they're trying to do to their young boys and females.
Terrible. Okay. Hello, Mel and Linda. My question is, what is the future of same-sex marriage? Will it be overturned like Roe v. Wade? I listened to a news story that Ohio is planning to ban same-sex marriage. Is that true? Okay.
Yes.
Um, I think that's I can't say the name. Macarena Toledo. Um, they're going to try to overturn gay marriage or mess with it, but I think Biden codified it a little bit so that gay people could stay married. But, I had predicted that, there would be some states or state where, people would want a marriage license. The state would say no, it would go to the Supreme Court, and that's when they would say what they're going to say. But I thought if there's something was codified, I don't know if the court could overturn it. But they're going to mess with gay marriage. They will.
They will. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I think Chicago and California are okay, but they will. All of a sudden, down the road, especially when he's gone, all of this will be overturned.
I think they'll say that that gay people can get married, and that holds. But if they kick it back to the states, and maybe it's for the states to decide, I don't know how that would work. But
Yeah.
the bottom line is, they're going to mess with it absolutely.
By
Uh,
the way, you guys, there was a 3.88 earthquake in Maine.
yes, I was going to bring that up. But I thought Biden codified some of that into law so they couldn't mess with it. It didn't really. I'll have to look it up, that gay
Okay.
marriage thing. But anyway, um, yes, I heard about the earthquake. You had predicted an earthquake, by the way. Um,
No, it's very easy. You don't have to be a psychic to predict earthquakes. I
no,
get physical feelings, but I wouldn't have got a feeling on that 3.8. I
mhm,
get feelings on the bigger ones.
right. No, but there was one you did predict, but you're pretty specific about it. Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
I can get the hit of the ocean earthquakes, and you're usually over 6.
Monica says, "Are we going to get a reprieve, even just a little bit, from this evil man?"
Oh, jeez.
I don't
March is
need a
significant.
reprieve, you know.
What are you feeling?
I mean, I
What are you
think,
feeling?
pardon,
What are you feeling?
about a reprieve.
Yeah.
Um, she said, "Well, we get a reprieve just for a little bit from this evil man," meaning from T. Rump. Um, I was feeling that, one of the news people like MSNBC or something, they're going to do. They're already investigating things behind the scenes like Rachel Maddows, and there's going to be something explosive coming out about Trump. And
Well, he plans on suing Rachel Maddow,
well, he can, but he won't win.
but he's planning on it and he's going to lose.
Oh, and then she'll
Ooh.
counter sue.
So there'll be a tsunami, a higher waters. I think we're going to get some natural disasters that are so bad he literally hides.
That's what
Not that he's going to be destroyed, but people will be so, because I see people marching in the streets. I'm sorry. I've been seeing that. And it's even his own people.
there's going to be a lot of protest and a lot more horrible natural disasters. You're right.
Right.
And
And
you
oh,
know,
I just saw the list of the cuts they want to do. No more food stamps, no more Medicaid, no more
FEMA,
no more government benefits. It's terrible.
he's going to try
Just
to
so he can pay his people more money.
correct. He's going to try to cut FEMA stuff, but I don't know. I don't know if he can do that with executive order. I think you have to go through the legislature to do that. And a lot of these constituents, you start messing with Medicare and Medicaid, and you're going to lose a lot of votes.
Especially the ones in the red states.
That's correct. That's correct.
But can I say that he said that even if you were born here, you're getting deported. And that's against the 14th Amendment, but he did an executive order anyway. It's all in the courts. I don't see the Supreme Court saying yes to that.
It's going to be tied up in the court for a very long time about
Yeah.
breaking that.
That's what I kept seeing ever since he got in. I kept feeling this resistance, and I think it's legal resistance.
And I think
Because the judge that said no on the 14th Amendment, he said in my years, he was put in by Reagan. In my years as a judge, I never saw anything so blatantly unconstitutional.
and I also think that what's going to happen is Trump's going to keep trying a lot of this other stuff that's going to put us in a constitutional crisis.
I think
One
so.
of the things that will bring him down
Yeah.
because he's
People
going
will
to
be
try to stay in
complaining.
for life as president. You mark my words.
And people act like they're afraid of J.D. Vance. I feel like he's a nothing burger. I don't feel any support for him.
I think if when the Democrats take over the House and the Senate, and Trump will try to keep that from happening, they'll try to pull some huge shenanigan. JD Vance will be a lame duck.
Yeah.
Uh, this is a very good question. Monica again. Monica Cuepa says, are we going to see any justice come to fruition for that evil man? Yes, we will.
Yes. But remember, justice, what is it? Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Let it just fall where it should. We do not want to walk around with that hate inside of us. We just don't. Give it back to him. It has no power here.
Love trumps hate.
Yeah,
Teacher Barbara sent me a t-shirt that said love trumps hate. I'm going to wear it.
I love it.
All right. Hi, Teacher Barbara. Okay. Will the boycott have any effect on companies such as big companies, I won't mention their name, and all others that roll back their DEI practices?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Everybody's saying don't shop at Target anymore.
Well, there's going to be certain places
I stopped getting my Starbucks. I don't go to Starbucks anymore.
Yeah, if they're rolling back DEI stuff, I don't have to spend my money there.
But Costco, I was very surprised some of the ones that are really good that stick with it.
Well, if they
Actually, you know what I just saw? I saw more people added to the list. Maybe ones that started off saying we're going to drop it and then said, "Nah, we changed our mind. We're going to keep it." Because they're struggling financially.
what companies are going to start doing is say we support DEI,
Right.
and then that'll draw shoppers in. The ones that don't, I'm not spending my money there. No way. I'll spend my gay money somewhere else. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Steve,
Oh, and Amazon, get off Amazon, you guys.
there you go. Will Steve Bannon face justice in New York?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
I don't see anyone coming to help him because he got so mad about Elon, but I almost hear crickets like nobody's going to help him.
That's what I feel. Hi, Linda and Mel. What do you see for the rebuild in Altadena, California? Most of the city was destroyed in the Eaton fire earlier this month. Will our community come back? Yes, your community will come back. I don't know how much federal help you'll get, but I see it coming back bigger and stronger and better than it was.
Yeah, because it was in California.
Um,
I'll take a couple of years and all that. I lived through this, you guys. I lived through all the hills being black and all the buildings being burnt. And don't forget Paradise too. Paradise was totally burnt to the ground.
right.
And they do build it back. It just takes a while.
Laura says, oh, she'd already asked a question about Steve Bannon. I just want to touch on that one really quick again. He is going to face justice, and I feel like he's got something on Trump that's huge.
Ooh.
And I got a funny feeling
But
he's going to start singing like a bird.
he's very loyal to Trump.
Somebody in the Trump regime is going to really make him mad, and Trump's not going to do anything, and that's going to rub him up.
Well, that's Elon Musk.
That's
He
that's
hates
what I'm
Elon.
thinking. Okay, Scott says, will Kamala be named the rightful 47th president? If not, what happened to all the psychic energy from the late 2024 indicating she would? I'm not going to read on what other psychics say.
Yeah.
I won't do that.
I got it wrong. I thought she was going to win. Well, she did win.
She did win. We all thought she would win. She did win. It was just the cheating. So, at this juncture, I don't even know if she'd want to be the president.
Yeah, I'm not feeling her going in.
I'm not feeling it at all.
I think she'll be the governor of California with Joel.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be a great governor
She'll
too.
be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay. It's funny. I remember saying publicly that we talked about it, that when Biden stepped down, I said, I am fearful that they just handed the election over to Trump. And I kept saying, even though I see Kamala winning, we must be careful and we must be diligent because Trump could very easily win this election. I said it.
And I did not agree with you.
It's
because look at her big events that were packed to the gills, and he had to pay people to come in.
Right.
Logically, visually, you would say, nah, she's going to win. No worries. Boy, that was a big mistake.
Well, it wasn't about being right or not right. It was just about that feeling I had. But she won fair and square. And if it wasn't for Elon Musk paying people off, like they admitted to doing, and in Russian interference, but it's all going to come out about the cheating. It'll all come out. My guides tell me that.
Wow, good.
Okay, Helen says, do you see Trump Jr. running in 2028? The GOP is eyeing him to continue Citolini legacy. Somebody called Trump Citolini, and I love that.
I love it.
Well,
that makes me hungry for Italian.
If he does, he won't win.
Yeah.
I see the Dems in 2028. I see a leader coming forward in the Democratic Party that's going to be really charismatic. It's going to be, in a good sort of way, very outspoken, and will really champion rights and all kinds of things. And it's going to be very fiery, almost like Elizabeth Warren on speed. There's going to
be some heroes that are coming out, and I also pick up a very sad murderer and/or assassination of someone that will cause the world to be very upset. It feels like a good person. Like they're tearing into that lady who said, please be kind to, do you know she's the one that took the body of that young gay man that was killed in Maine? No one would allow him to be buried there. And she buried him at her church.
Buddy is her name. And she's Episcopalian, which is actually, Episcopalians are the American version of the Anglican Church in England. And it was Henry VIII that broke away from the Catholics and said, screw you, I'll start my own church, because he wanted to marry Anne Boleyn. And the church said, you can't because you're divorced, whatever. But when I saw her, I'm like, you know what? I'm not religious, but that, to me, what she is what religion and Christianity is all about.
Well, that's God.
That's right. And I would turn Episcopalian in a nanosecond. In fact,
if it was like her.
Well, I'm sure that it is. And there's some good Catholic priests too, but that one that officiated, I'm writing a letter to
Mm-mm.
the Vatican. Anyway, um, so
But
he'll,
I'm feeling martyr. I'm feeling there's some sort of death of a martyr. And I also feel really good people willing to sacrifice themselves for the sake of a good nation. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up.
going to be a lot of positive stuff coming in.
Positive.
And plus, for the Mexican community, I see a leader coming along that will be to the Mexican community what Martin Luther King was to the African American community, and will rally people that are here legally who have status to stand up against these mass deportations
Yeah.
and all this that's going on. You know, I heard somebody today, and here's how they're justifying it on on The View, and she said, "Well, Barack Obama um, deported more people than Donald Trump did or has." And I'm like, "Wait a minute. You can't use those statistics because Barack Obama wasn't having the new Gestapo, that is ICE, go raid schools, raid churches, drag
Yeah.
people out of their houses. Obama never did that."
No.
So he's comparing apples and
They're
oranges.
only going to blue states. They were
Correct.
just up here in San Jose and they
Correct.
went somewhere, but they left with nobody.
Well, it started here. And you know what? So when she said that, I was like, I strenuously disagree with her because, this is just like dragging people out of their houses in the middle of the night, just like the Nazis did. And
Right.
it's just not acceptable.
You heard about that guy from Colombia that wouldn't allow Trump to bring in shackled people and they sent them away. Oh, Trump's son wrote this thing about we will make you pay like war. I mean, they're using war language, using our sons and daughters.
Well, what they're doing is threatening these countries with high tariffs and this and
Yeah, they said 50%. And then the guy said, well, we'll charge you 50. There goes the coffee, my friend. Well, the guy did make he said, negotiate. That's how you do it. So he said, bring them in non-cuffed and treat them with dignity. And then Trump agreed to do that. And
but
so now he took them. So there's no 50% tariff, but Trump is saying he's the one that won. No, you didn't. You had to do how this guy wanted.
you don't you don't negotiate human rights. And this country is the one that talks about violations of human rights. But yet, what this regime is doing is the biggest violator of human rights of any country existing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good one. Cecilia Coleman says, "Hello, how does mid-March look for all of us?"
I think it's good.
I think so too. I mean, it'll get
Good as far as what the Orange Menace is backup is up against the wall.
well, and a lot of us are going to start speaking up. And I agree, there's going to be protests in the streets. My guides have shown me that. And if he brings in their military, the reason he's bringing in the military for all of this is he says, because we are under threat of invasion. Well, guess what? The courts are going to say there's no invasion. Nobody's invading us. That's what
Right.
Trump is using. That's crap, you know.
Well, and also I see him going up against news media. He's really going to try to shut him up, and it won't last.
Not
I
gonna
do see him giving Rachel Maddow a hard time.
But some of those moguls, those news moguls, are going to start going against him, and he's not going to like that either. But you don't mess with these big companies because they will make or break you.
Well, yeah, because if he starts doing these things, these tariffs, it's going to hurt the companies because nobody's going to buy the stuff.
That's right.
People aren't buying eggs right now because why? They don't want to pay 9, 10 bucks. We'll just do powdered eggs.
Right. I started making my bread without eggs. I
Yeah.
whatever.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
Um, the tariff thing, how long do you think that'll last? Because, by the way, real quick, everybody, let me tell you real quick. Hold on, let me double check it.
Well, the tariff thing is going to create inflation. All these
Well,
importations is going to create inflation. People are going to be paying quadruple at the grocery store. And you can boycott products, but and then they're going to start, wait a minute, what's causing this? And the economists are going to say that it's the deportation, the tariffs, and all of that. And at some point, it's going to get so bad, a huge inflation, a huge recession. And, it's not, I think they're going to last maybe about a year and a half, if that, or two,
Okay.
but that's it, no more.
I got to tell you guys, NASDAQ has dropped thus far 687 points,
Well, it's going to go further down.
and the S&P down 111 points.
Right. It's going to go further down. Um, let's see. Okay. This is a good one. P. Garcia says, what will be the outcome for Vance in the 2028 elections?
Negative,
Negatory, big buddy.
or as my guys that I love, hated it.
Okay. Misty Rose says, hi, Misty Rose. How are you, my dear? Why are Jill and Joe Biden and Kamala and her husband not speaking? Something happened between them. Would you please read on this?
Well,
Thank you both so much for all you do for us. I didn't know they weren't speaking.
Biden says he absolutely loves her. She's family, and Jill and her, I thought were getting along, but they are.
Yeah,
So I think that could just be rumor.
that's what I think.
But Jill out loud did say she was very angry at Nancy Pelosi. She said Nancy was the one that pushed her husband out. And she said, we were friends for 50 years and I'll never forgive her.
Well, I mean, if Nancy Pelosi hadn't pushed Biden out, some people might disagree with me. I feel like he could have beat Trump. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
what my take on it? It was a
I
huge,
think America still has a problem with voting for a female president.
unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes. And that's sad.
Yeah.
Nada Kuhn says, what are the Democrats doing behind the scenes to investigate the 2024 election? Are we not totally reliant on foreign allies that do this work? Or is domestic US action still happening?
Well, he's stopping everybody at the wall. Trump is not allowing anybody to do any investigation, but the foreign ones can come in and say something.
And I also think that media outlets and stuff like that are investigating.
Yeah.
Okay. Trinita Parker says, yes, I really want to know what Barron said to Biden. It looked disrespectful when I saw that look on Biden's face when he leaned in on him and mumbled something. We've already touched on that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Question: will the U.S. be attacked by foreign countries, particularly China attacking Hawaii or Pacific territories, while our military government are in chaos? Hugs to you both. I don't see that.
Okay.
I don't see Hawaii being attacked.
I don't either.
Certain states will talk about secession, and they'll find a way to stand up to Trump without secession.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I see our military not quite working out the way he wants.
some generals are going to be like, we're not doing this.
No, but I feel like they demand you stand with, but I almost see background noise or maybe even them planning on taking him out. I don't know. There's something. It could be the Pete guy they're going to take out.
And I see a lot of ICE agents refusing to go on those raids and home security people, and a lot of them are going to be called to task for it. Hitler used Jewish people against Jewish people like capos. And that's exactly what Trump is doing. He's using American people against American people. And it's not going to work. I mean, ultimately, they're going to be called to task and outed for it.
Exactly.
Okay. Hello, Linda and Mel. My question for you is, since everything is changing so rapidly, what career paths do you see booming and what states do you see people start migrating more to? Well, they're going to start migrating more to blue states, and careers I see blooming, anything to do with artificial intelligence, medical, and actually education as well. What do you see, Linda?
Especially with education. But is he actually going to cut the Department of Education? I don't see him being able to complete that.
He's not going to be able to do it the way he wants.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay, two more we got time for.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, because I'm gonna be with Andre in 20
oh,
minutes.
Andre, hello. What do you see for Red Note replacing TikTok?
They're gonna get Oracle and some other big places to take it over.
That's what, okay. Okay. Will Walmart ever go out of business?
No.
I don't think they're going to go out of business, but it might be the same thing that happened like in Kmart. That's kind
Yeah.
of see, but it's a
Well, the thing is that once you get the red hats mad at Trump for what he's done to their families,
oh
and
yeah,
they know Walmart backed him, hello.
that's right.
And the other thing is, Walmart hardly pays their people anything.
I know. Well,
But
I think it's going
no,
to,
I don't see Walmart. But when I was in Oklahoma or I've been in Arizona and stuff, not necessarily Arizona, but there was a Walmart in Oklahoma on every corner. Same thing with Texas.
well,
There's no Walmart out here. If I want to go to Walmart, I have to go south.
it's going to be the same kind of fate that happened to Kmart. That's what I see, but it's a while off yet. Really
Mhm.
quick to change the subject that there's thousands of people returning to North Gaza, but they're returning to ruins and rubble. Uh, I see Gaza being rebuilt.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm sure Americans have got, I'm sure people like certain,
Well, they're trying to talk Saudi Arabia into
right,
building it.
they have their hands into rebuilding it. Um, but I still see at some point Palestine becoming a separate country. I do.
I know, and I do see Netanyahu being checked out.
I,
So we'll see.
I mean, I'm pro-Israel. I'm
Yeah.
anti-Netanyahu. The same as I
Yeah.
love America. I just do not like Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, all right, my dear. Next week,
Thank you, honey.
so, right?
Oh, don't click me off. I have a question to ask you after this.
Okay, I won't click you off. I promise. All right, bye everybody. Stay
Bye,
well, stay
everyone.
warm.